Before this video starts, I won't be showing any preview footage and some of the later trailers, like anything from the gameplay presentation by Aonuma and onwards, that's not in this video. So if you've been trying to, avoid that, this video should be good to go. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and Tears of the Kingdom is under 2 weeks away. It's incredible, right? But what's the best way to approach this? Should you play Breath of the Wild before you jump into this massive adventure? Should you watch all the trailers or stay spoiler free? Well, I'm here to answer all those questions because today I'm helping you get prepared for Tears of the Kingdom. Without further ado, let's go! The first thing I want to go over is the file size and if you should go physical or digital. The file size for Tears of the Kingdom is 18.2 gigabytes. Now, it may not be a lot, but that is the biggest Nintendo game on the Switch. It's over half the storage on a base level Switch, and if you have bad internet, that's gonna take a long time to download when you just want to get into the game. So physical might be the best option for you. But if you then go physical, you should maybe consider pre-ordering. Now, it's not something I normally do, but this is one of the most anticipated games of all time, so they may be a bit hard to find on the shelves. I don't want to be in the situation where I go to the store and then there's just no copies left and I have to go digital, even though I really wanted physical. Yeah, don't end up in that situation, you can save yourself a lot of hassle. So, decided if you want to go physical or digital, and if you're pre-ordering, great. Let's move on to the next subject. So before we talk about Breath of the Wild, should you play the game before Tears of the Kingdom, we should talk about the now. There's loads of previews, trailers roaming around, but which approach is the best? As I see it, there are 2 options. That's 4. Option 1. No spoilers, please. This is for all you folks that are very spoiler sensitive, that you try to look away and if you accidentally get some information in, well, you're gonna feel pretty bad about it. I know I at least have been subject to a lot of this. I'm very spoiler sensitive, and when all these previews came out, well, I had a very hard time not looking, and when I did, well, it went a little something like this. So if you're allergic to spoilers, I would just not watch any of the preview stuff. The trailers, that can be debated. If you want to go in as fresh as possible, maybe don't watch anything, but if you're on Reddit, YouTube, Twitter, that task is going to be harder than completing Trial of the Sword in Master Mode. Mom, come pick me up, I'm scared! But maybe you don't care about spoilers. The more information you gain, the more excited you get and your imagination just starts spiraling out of control. That's where the second way comes in. Option 2. Spoilers? I know them all. This is where you just watch anything you can get your hands on. Trailers, previews, you name it. The more you know, the better. Every new thing learned just hypes you up even more, to the point where 2 weeks can feel like years. And to help with that, you go on YouTube and watch analysis videos on all the trailers, you go on Reddit and enter the Zelda forums, and then you can chat with other folks about all the information and you hype each other up. It's just awesome. But if it's YouTube Zelda analysis videos you're after, I want to shout out 2 channels. It's Celtic and Monster Maze. Now, there are tons of YouTubers out there who make content on Zelda, but these 2 are just the best there is. Here you have sometimes hour-long productions going over all the secrets, bits and bobs that the trailers didn't showcase very obviously, and they both have this professionalism over them, very thorough with their details. Yeah, I just can't recommend these 2 guys enough, so please check them out. There's links to their channels down in the description. So when Tears of the Kingdom does come out, you'll be an expert. You'll have a head start before everyone else who's allergic to spoilers, and when people ask on Twitter or on Reddit forums, you can be there to answer because you know it all. Obviously, these 2 ways are on the extreme side of the scale. You can of course choose your own path where you maybe wiggle a bit in between them, watching a few trailers, peeking through your fingers at some previews, but not going out of your way to get properly spoiled. I know that's at least the way I'm going. Okay, now that you've made up with yourself if you want all the details before launch or not, we'll talk about if you should go boot up Breath of the Wild again before Tears of the Kingdom. And similarly here, there are 2 ways to go. Option 1. Breath of the Wild who? This is for all of you that want Tears of the Kingdom to feel as fresh and new as possible, because not only will all the new stuff of course feel new, also a lot of Hyrule from Breath of the Wild will. Because let's say you haven't played Breath of the Wild in a couple of years, then areas that you didn't explore as much, let's take for example the Faron region and Gerudo Highlands, those areas might actually feel completely new if you didn't explore those areas as much in your previous playthroughs. It may ring a bell as you run through these areas with your new abilities and such, but it'll be a much more new and fresh experience than if you just played through Breath of the Wild and know everything there is to know about the game and its map. But is it really our problem if Tears of the Kingdom is less enjoyable if you just played through its predecessor? Well, in my opinion, I don't think you'll be punished for playing through what Tears of the Kingdom is essentially built upon. I think you'll be rewarded. And I think Nintendo knows full and well that tons of people are gonna come into this new release with knowing Hyrule like Link's back pocket. And that is why this second option is just as a good way to go. Option 2. One Big Last Dance. This is where you play through Breath of the Wild as much as you can, seeking out everything Hyrule has to offer. Find all the shrines, complete all the quests, and if you're feeling adventurous, implement a no fast traveling rule, which will make sure you'll see much more of Hyrule since you'll be climbing, walking, running, riding on your horse everywhere and seeing it all with your own eyes. Sure, I can understand why you don't want to touch Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom, but the reason I did it was because I want to be able to spot all the differences between these two games. 115 hours later, no fast traveling on Master Mode, and now I really feel like I can let go of Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom without any regrets. Now, another reason is also because, well, I'm a YouTuber, and I feel it'll be beneficial for me to know everything there is to know about Breath of the Wild before we all make the jump to Tears of the Kingdom. So if there's anything you meant to do but just never got around to do it in Breath of the Wild, now is as good time as any to get it done before Tears of the Kingdom. For me personally, it was finding all 120 shrines, because it had always just been bugging there at the back of my mind, but now I did it, and it just feels amazing that I can check that off my list before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. And you even get a cool reward for doing it, which I had no idea that you got, so if you haven't done it already, I would definitely recommend you to do so. And with all that, you should now be ready to decide how you want to prepare for Tears of the Kingdom. There's no right or wrong way, just follow your gut and you'll be golden. If you like this video, why don't you peek through your fingers, don't get any spoilers, and click that subscribe button, and don't forget to check out our website, nintendolife.com, for all sorts of Nintendo related content. Stay safe, maybe play some Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom or not, and I'll see you in the next one. Felix from Nintendo Life, out. Okay.